Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne and I run this YouTube channel, and I also run the Sussex Handmade Soap Company, which is a small bath and body business based in the southeast of the UK. Now, for those of you who saw last week's video, I did explain a little bit about how Wayne is no longer working at the business with me, so it is just me and just my beautiful face that you're going to be seeing from now on. And I also explained a little bit about what we are doing with the soaps going forwards, and that is that the soaps we are making on YouTube are going to be available to purchase on a monthly basis at a discounted price on our website just here. So the soaps we are making today are going to be available on the 29th of March at a price of £3 each, and I'm trying to hopefully let's be honest, I'm trying to entice people in with a lower price so that A, you get a good deal, and B, I get rid of the soaps nice and quickly and don't have them taking up a load of space in my house. Today we are making a really lovely soap, even if I do say so myself. It is lemongrass and ginger, two of my favourite scents, both in cooking and in soap making. We are doing a tiger swirl. We are colouring it naturally with clays. I'm not going to chat too much about it because you're just going to be seeing it in a second anyway, so if I babble it's just going to take up too much time. Also to note, we are using tallow in today's recipe, so if you are a vegan or vegetarian, I'm very sorry, this video is probably not going to be for you, but we have plenty of other vegan ones to explore on our channel. We'll be doing tallow soaps as well for the next couple of weeks until kind of April, purely because the assessment that allows me to sell is tallow-based. I do have another vegan soap assessment coming, and as soon as it's here, we will be doing some vegan soaps as well. So give us a couple of weeks and hopefully we'll have a mix of vegan and non-vegan. Right, let's jump in and make some lemongrass and ginger soap. So first things first, we have our solid oils, and today our solid oils are tallow and coconut oil. I'm going to pop them into my stainless steel pan now and get them slowly melting on our hob. In addition to our solid oils, we have our liquid oils, which today are olive oil, castor oil and avocado oil. We also have some white kaolin clay, which we are going to use to colour 50% of our soap batter. We have some glacial marine clay, which we are going to use to colour the other 50% of our soap batter. And we have our essential oil blend. Today we have got lemongrass and ginger, and I think this is a really lovely blend. I love lemongrass and ginger together, whether that be in food for eating or in smelling. I just think it's a really nice combination. Only a really small amount of essential oil because lemongrass is actually severely limited in terms of how much you can use in soap. So when we blend it with the ginger, that automatically brings down our overall blend percentage to, I think it's 1% we are using lemongrass and ginger. Normally with soap we use 3%, but yeah, a really small amount. But I have actually tested this recipe and I've tested this blend, and because the lemongrass and the ginger are both quite strong scents, it does still come through, and I think it's still quite a nice noticeable scent as well. So we're going to work with it like that. So there we have it. Let's get rid of these, and then as if by magic, our solid oils have become liquid. So now that our solid oils are liquid, we are going to add in our other liquid oils, and then we are going to take the temperature and hope that it is around about 100. I've got a feeling it might be a bit higher today because I popped this on the hob and then I forgot it was there. Luckily I had turned the heat off by the time I forgot it was there, but it was still sitting on the residual heat for much longer than it would normally. So feeling we might be dealing with a little bit of a hot oil today. Oh, do you know what, actually? 105, 108. 108. Obviously the more I stir it, the more it kind of changes. It hits hot spots, cold spots. But it does seem to be giving us, yeah, 108. That's not actually too bad. By the time our lye is ready, that'll probably be the right temperature. Excellent. And on the subject of lye, as usual, if you want to see how we prepare our lye water, hit one of these. I never know which side it is, but I will link how to prepare lye water because I'm not going to be showing that in our videos going forward, but I have shown it in a lot of our videos in the past. So yeah, if you need to know how to do it, click one of these links. So now our solid and liquid oils are combined and our lye water is at temperature. So we are going to pour our lye down into our oils. Then we're going to use the stick blender to bring it to a light trace, very light trace today because we've got some clays to add for colour. So probably just past emulsion, to be honest. Right, that will do. So yeah, just past emulsion there, not even really a light trace at all, but I've got the clays to add in. And I want to make sure that our batter doesn't get too thick, because if it gets too thick, then our swirl won't work. Splitting down into 2 different portions today, equal amounts though, so both portions are around about 1200. And that is grams, obviously. Not like it's going to be kilograms, is it? Or something else, stone. Go, that's the first one there. And although technically the second one should just be everything that is left in the pan, I always like to weigh both portions just to make sure that everything is how it should be. So now I'm going to add our clays in. So that is the white kaolin clay there and the glacial marine green clay there. And the reason I'm adding white isn't really because it's going to add a white colour to our soap, because to me it doesn't really tend to do that. It's because I sometimes find that clay can make the batter thicken up a little bit faster. And I've got clay in this portion, so I don't want this portion to thicken up or do anything much quicker than this portion. So I thought even it out, clay in both, then they should hopefully thicken at the same sort of speed. Right, we're going to blitz this now to incorporate this clay and get rid of these lumps you can see. And I think that will do. As you can see, I've gone for quite a medium kind of trace there, medium to thick. And I think when you're doing a tiger swirl, getting the trace right is one of the most crucial points to the actual soap. If you get the trace right and you've got the right kind of thickness to your batter, your swirl's just kind of going to flow really nicely. Too thin and the colours are just going to kind of muddy together and you're not going to get that swirl definition. Too thick and they're not going to swirl nicely because they're going to be too thick to swirl nicely. So yeah, I reckon that getting the right kind of thickness is a crucial part of the tiger swirl, and hopefully I have succeeded today. Right, I'm going to get this one to the same sort of thickness as this one. Right, so happy with that now, and you can see as well that all of the clay has been worked in really nicely. There is no kind of flecks or anything left over. Now what we need to do is get the essential oils in and bring in the mould. So lemongrass and ginger going into portion 1. We're going to do the same for portion 2, and then I'm going to work fairly quickly when I bring the mould in, just because I don't want the batter to thicken too much. We seem to have a nice consistency at the moment. Tiger swirl, I think, is one of the easier swirls to do. It's a nice one to do as a beginner swirl. And I say, as long as you get your thickness of your batter right, you can't really go wrong. I think my green is ever so slightly thinner, than my white, but that's going to be absolutely fine. Right, let's bring in that mould. So to get our tiger swirl, all we do is take our first colour, either green or white, doesn't really matter which, and we're going just down the centre, one line like that. Then we are picking up the alternate colour, going back down the centre with another line, alternating back to the first colour, going back over that line, and we are just working our way up the mould, alternating colours and doing lines down the centre until all the batter has been used up. And this is why having the thickness of the batter is so important, because as you can see, if my batter was really thin, I wouldn't be able to get any swirl because all the colours would just blend into each other. If it was too thick, then it would also not swirl in as nicely. Nearly there. And if you are new to soap making and you are new to swirls, this would be a nice one to start out with, because it gives really pretty effects. It's not too difficult, and it's just a lot of fun to do as well. Now we are just going to wait until it has firmed up a little, then we are going to texture our top, and then we will be done. So we are now going to texture the soap, and it has been a good 15-20 minutes waiting for it to firm up. I think it's probably firm enough now for us to be able to texture. As you'll see, my gloves are off. That is because I have got all of the washing up and cleaning down done whilst waiting for this soap to firm up. I did just try and put the gloves back on, but I think because I've been using really hot water and the gloves that I ordered are a little bit on the small side, I just couldn't get my hand in the glove basically. It kept getting stuck, and in the end I was like, do you know what, all we're doing is texturing. It's going to be with a spoon, it'll be fine. I have got my goggles on though, and I've still got my long sleeves and whatnot, but I'm thinking just for texturing. I won't tell if you don't. Right, and we are going to first see, yep, that is a good thickness for texturing. So I'm going in with a spoon, and you guys will have seen me do this loads of times. We are going in, we're pulling round and up to the middle, just to create a nice little peak on the top. And you guys will know that probably 99 times out of 100 I choose to do this texturing technique on top, just because it is simple, it is easy, but it also looks really effective and really pretty. So, you know, it's got everything going for it and no reason not to do it. There we go. Textured. 1 lemongrass and ginger tiger swirled soap. We will come back tomorrow, we will chop it up, and hopefully that swirl on the inside will be looking fantastical. I'll see you then. And just like that, 24 hours have passed and we are ready to unmould our soap. I'm going to do that by whipping out the base of the mould first. Then the soap just falls out through the bottom. And when it comes to unmoulding from the silicone liner, I just get my finger carefully in, or I can find a spot that will release, and then work my way all along, like so. Then we push up from underneath, pop the soap up, dip it out, and done. And before I cut the soap today, I'm going to neaten up these edges here. You could do this afterwards. I like doing it before, I just find it a bit easier. I'm just sort of snapping off the edges where the soap has gone up against the edge of the mould. You don't have to do this, you can leave it if you want to. I just prefer when it's not there. So snap those edges off. It will look a bit rough to start with, but that's fine because we're gonna play with it. Now we bring in a potato peeler, standard home potato peeler, and just run it along the edges. And I'm being pretty firm with it here. I'm not being gentle or soft touch or anything like that. I'm giving it a fair bit of pressure there. There we go. Flip it over. Do the other side. So again, potato peeler, running it down the edges of the soap. Brush away the excess. There we go, and I think that is now a nicer looking edge. And we can now bring in the soap cutter. Get rid of these offcuts. Right, lining up. And then cutting down through the soap. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what our Tiger Swirl is looking like today. Let's take this piece just here. Ooh. Give it a little brush off. There we go. That is our Tiger Swirl. I'm really happy with that one. That's probably one of the nicest Tiger Swirls I think I've ever done. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I have done some rubbish Tiger Swirls as well. Some that I haven't been happy with, but these ones, that's really pretty. Maybe it was just luck. Let's have a look at this bit. I think that one's pretty sweet as well. Lovely. Right, I'm going to get the rest of these cut. I'm going to get them tied up around the edge, and then I will have a final chat with you about the soap. Oh, are these not just the most gorgeous swirled soaps? I am so happy with that Tiger Swirl. And honestly, it is one of the best ones I think I've ever done. Yeah, very, very happy indeed. And the smell is utterly amazing. I could literally just stand here sniffing it all day, all evening, but I'm not going to because you guys would just think I was weird. Then I already am. But it's a lovely scent. You have got a nice balance of the lemongrass with the ginger. They both complement each other, and you can definitely pick up notes of both in the soap as well. It is not overpoweringly one way or the other. Yeah, see, now I just smelled lemongrass. Earlier when I was down here whiffing it, I could smell the ginger. So it's a lovely blend of both. If you want the soaps, as I keep reminding you, 29th of March they will be released, and they will be on the website, and they will be at the incredibly bargainous price of £3, and there will only be one loaf of these available. Possibly two loaves actually. I might make a second loaf of this one because I really like it. So there will either be 16 or 32 of these available for sale on the 29th of March. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please do hit like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment. Yeah, that's generally about it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go now, got a tickle in my throat. Need to find my Coca-Cola. Right, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time. Bye.